It's hard to imagine the word Disney next to abandoned. The same empire that built dreams for billions left parts of those dreams to crumble in silence. But deep within forgotten corners of Florida and beyond lies a version of Disney most people were never meant to see. Parks once filled with laughter and color now rot under layers of moss, their gates sealed, their secrets untouched. And the question that still lingers, why did Disney build them, let them die, and then pretend they never existed? It began in the 1970s, the golden age of Disney expansion. Walt Disney World had just proven the impossible could be done. An entire city of fantasy, self-contained, self-sustaining, and endlessly profitable. But success is a shadow, and Disney's obsession with control and perfection didn't stop at the castle gates. In 1976, an idea took root to create a tropical paradise hidden in the heart of Bay Lake, Florida. It would be called Discovery Island. Visitors would reach it by boat, gliding over shimmering blue waters into what looked like paradise itself. Exotic birds screeched from the treetops, flamingos waded in glassy lagoons, and peacocks strutted like royalty across hand-built bridges. It wasn't just an attraction. It was Disney's private Eden. The company poured millions into it. Live animal enclosures, custom lagoons, feeding stations, even research labs for wildlife preservation. But the illusion cracked faster than anyone expected. The heat, the insects, the maintenance costs, they were relentless. By the early 1990s, Discovery Island was losing money. Attendance dropped. Families wanted roller coasters, not lectures on exotic birds. And somewhere deep within Disney's boardrooms, the decision was made. Close it quietly. In 1999, the last guest left, the staff packed up, and the island was sealed off. But here's where the story turns. Because Discovery Island wasn't demolished, it was abandoned. Everything, cages, tanks, walkways, feeding charts, left exactly as they were. Time froze there. In the years that followed, whispers began to spread through the internet's darker corners. Urban explorers who claimed they had seen the island described something out of a horror film. Crates labeled biological material. Rotting carcasses of exotic birds. A refrigerator full of film reels labeled confidential, property of Walt Disney World. Disney never confirmed any of it. But the one thing they did do was make trespassing punishable by arrest. And when one man, a YouTuber named Shane Perez, swam to the island in 2009, what he found seemed to confirm the legends. Buildings overgrown by vines, a decaying aviary, and inside a maintenance shed, rows of animal cages still bolted to the walls. It looked as if the staff had vanished mid-shift. Perez wrote that it felt like a place the world wasn't supposed to see. And he was right, because that was only the beginning. Just 30 miles away lay another ghost, River Country, once hailed as Disney's first ever water park. It opened in 1976 with a promise: the cleanest, safest old-fashioned swimming hole in America. It was pure Americana, rope swings, slides carved into fake rock, and warm lake water pumped directly from Bay Lake itself. But that lake water held a secret Disney couldn't control. In 1980, tragedy struck. An 11-year-old boy died after contracting a rare brain-eating amoeba from the lake water. Disney's public relations machine went into overdrive, calling it an isolated incident, nothing to fear. But inside company memos, engineers were already questioning whether untreated natural water could ever be made safe. River Country limped along for 2 more decades, aging, decaying, and losing visitors to newer, cleaner attractions like Typhoon Lagoon. By 2001, it closed for what Disney called seasonal maintenance. It never reopened. The truth? No one outside the company knows for sure. Some say Disney quietly shut it down after failing new health codes. Others believe they wanted to bury a place tied to a death they could never scrub from their image. When explorers later broke into River Country, they found everything left behind. The slides, the turnstiles, the inner tube still stacked like forgotten toys. One even found the park's welcome sign, half submerged in swamp water, still reading, "We'll be back soon." 20 years later, that promise lies broken under mud and vines. By the mid-2000s, Disney's obsession with secrecy around its abandoned parks grew darker. Former employees began whispering about internal memos ordering full silence, no comment policies, restricted access, and a mandate to treat these dead parks as if they never existed. Some staff said it felt like Disney wanted to erase its own past, and yet traces of it kept surfacing. Satellite images revealed strange maintenance lights flickering on the supposedly deserted Discovery Island, years after it was closed. Former cast members claimed that during certain hours, security patrol boats would circle Bay Lake not to keep people out, but to keep something in. Then came the rumors. Wild and possible, and yet somehow not easily dismissed. Reports of biological experiments, of animals that didn't match any species in the park's official records, of strange equipment being shipped to the island long after it was abandoned. Nothing was ever proven. But Disney's silence only fueled the fire. In 2018, after nearly 2 decades of secrecy, construction permits appeared showing plans to redevelop parts of Bay Lake. Locals believed it was finally time for Disney to reclaim Discovery Island, to erase the last ghost. But the permits quietly vanished. The land remained untouched. And then, something stranger happened. Discovery Island disappeared from all official Disney maps. Search it online, and you'll find nothing but fan theories and satellite images that blur at the edges. It's as if the company tried to erase it from reality. But here's the deeper question. Why does the world's most powerful entertainment empire leave parts of itself to rot? Why not bulldoze, rebuild, repurpose? Because abandonment for Disney isn't failure. It's control. Destroying a park would invite questions. Leaving it sealed, inaccessible, controlled means the mystery stays theirs. The story becomes myth, not scandal. And in that myth, Disney retains power. Because even in decay, these parks tell a story of perfection turned poison, of dreams that couldn't survive reality. At 3 a.m., when the lights of Bay Lake ripple under the moon, you can still see the outline of Discovery Island on the water. The dock, half submerged. The watchtower, barely visible through the trees. Somewhere in the dark, security cameras still blink red, even though no one is supposed to be watching. In the end, Disney's abandoned parks aren't just forgotten attractions. They're living ghosts. Proof that even the happiest place on earth has places it would rather you never see. And maybe that's what makes them so haunting. Not what's inside the fences, but the silence that surrounds them. Because when a company that built entire worlds of fantasy chooses to bury one, you have to wonder what's still left behind, waiting in the dark for someone to find it.